Welcome into the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Wonderful to have you along for the ride. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Farzy Show YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on Jacob Media YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on Locked On Sports Philadelphia Postcast as well. That's Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube as well. I'm there. I'm doing everything. I'm just having a good time, especially during this baseball season when the Phillies win games. We also have the Eagles preseason game number 2 tonight. You're not going to see anybody. I just have a gut feeling. Even though Jalen Hurts, and we talked about this yesterday, even though Jalen Hurts seemed like he wanted to play at least a little bit in the preseason, I don't see it happening. I really feel like the only chance the Eagles had to play in the preseason was game number 1 against the Ravens. I feel like that was the only time that Nick Sirianni was willing to entertain the idea of the starters getting a little bit of work. To me, if you wanted to get a little bit of work at any point in the preseason, do it when you think the weather's going to be okay. If you acknowledge the idea that you want to play guys, then play them. Whenever the weather permits it, when the field's not slippery or what have you, do it then. Tonight might be a good opportunity to do that. If you're a member of the Philadelphia Eagles, if you're Nick Sirianni, if you're Howie Roseman, and you decide, let's let the starters go out there for a series, I'm fine with that. But anything other than that seems like it would be a little extreme, right? So we'll get into that conversation. And Nick Nurse was teaching shooting yesterday at the Nick Nurse shooting camp. All right. Let's keep that going as well. So much to get into. And the Phillies, by the way, just to jump into it, the Philadelphia Phillies had a meeting yesterday. Remember that meeting we were talking about? And I didn't realize this until after the game. During the game, Scott Lauber, Inquirer.com, and by the way, to fast forward to the end, nobody talked about it. I didn't see anybody talk about it after the game. Rob Thompson gave his press conference. Kyle Schwarber gave his little talk. I didn't see anybody talk about it. Nobody mentioned it. The fact that the players, this is according to Scott Lauber, at 3 p.m. yesterday, the Phillies dressed in their red pinstripe jerseys, walked out to center field, stood together on a riser to pose for a previously scheduled team photo. Then, for about 20 minutes, they retreated to the clubhouse. A team meeting? Question mark. Rob Thompson did say before the game, my policy is don't announce meetings. What happens in the clubhouse stays in the clubhouse. The players hopefully, faithfully abided by Thompson's policy. Mum was the word. Now, they talked about it during the broadcast last night, Tom McCarthy, John Kruk. And one of the things I really found interesting from John Kruk, and this isn't the first time I've heard this, is that if you're going to have a team meeting and you want it to be a players-only meeting, then it's a players-only meeting. And John Kruk said, in his day, you would just tell the coaches, don't come in. We're talking. Players-only meeting. And Rob Thompson, who is most known for as a manager being a player's manager and most known for allowing the players to police themselves and giving the team back to the players, like when he took over for Joe Girardi, apparently his deal is, now coaches got to be a part of it. I found that was very interesting. I feel like that's out of character for a guy of Rob Thompson's reputation as a player's manager. You would think if you're going to be a player's manager, and I think the first person we all think of is Charlie Manuel. If you're going to be a player's manager, well, then stay out and let the players do their thing. Let the employees have a conversation. Apparently, Rob Thompson doesn't feel the same way about that. That seems weird to me. I don't know about you. That definitely seems weird to me. And Charlie would often let his players have their players-only meetings. There was also meetings where Charlie was a part of it, but he let the players rip. Is that what you want to do? Do you think that's what you need to get back on track? Then by all means, I'll be down the hall getting a hot dog or something. I don't know. I found that interesting. But apparently before the game, they talked, then they played, then they immediately went down 3-0, and then Kyle Schwarber hit a grand slam. This game was so weird. And I heard Schwarber after the game talk about how yesterday, 2 days ago, the opening game in this 2-game Marlins series was a bit of a unicorn game, he said, in terms of couldn't do anything right. Lost 5 home games in a row. Unicorn game. Couldn't do anything in the batter's box to help this team. And they get shut out for the first time at home 2 days ago. So here's what was really interesting in this game yesterday. The Phillies had opportunities to have big innings in the earlier goings previous to Kyle Schwarber's grand slam. And there were a couple of instances, and the Phillies got guys on base, and it got runners on third in 2 innings, and the Phillies could only squeak out 1 run. Going to the second inning, Phillies have Bryson Stott lead off with a walk. JT Realmuto goes up there, hits that bloop single to center field. Then all of a sudden, you got runners on first and third, nobody out. And Mundo Sosa steps up, 6-4-3 double play, run scores. It's a 3-1 ball game in the bottom of the second inning. Then Brandon Marsh grounds out to second, and that was the end of that. Third inning, same thing, lead-off walk, Johan Rojas. Then Kyle Schwarber grounds out to second. Nick Castellanos works a walk. You have first and third with 1 out. After Rojas is able to move around the bases a little bit. They have a mound conference. Harper then steps up to the plate. You're thinking, all right, man, this be the moment for Bryce Harper. He grounds into a double play, a 4-6-3 double play. Rojas scores on that. It's now a 3-2 ball game. Then Bohm grounds out to third. And here's what I didn't like about it. Harper and Bohm, 2 of your best, most consistent hitters in this lineup. I understand you want them to be aggressive, and they could certainly change the outcome of a game with 1 swing in either of those at-bats. But nothing has been going right for you, Phillies. Nothing has been going right for you. Like, even earlier in the inning, earlier in the game, in the first inning, Johan Rojas threw to the wrong base trying to make a big play. Little things like that end up compounding. And then sure enough, what ended up happening in that game, you had a 3-run home run in the first inning. The Rojas play, I believe, was after that, but still, you put yourself in harm's way more so than you needed to. So in that third inning, I'm thinking, let Cabrera pitch. Cabrera's out there, and he can't find the strike zone. Give him enough space to do himself in. And Harper went up there swinging early in the count. Bohm went up there swinging early in the count. Bohm, I think, thought he got a real hanging changeup out over the middle of the plate, and he missed it. And that's how he ended up grounding out to third in that at-bat. But that was an inning that you could have had the bases loaded. He could have walked in a run. Cabrera looked like he was losing his arm slot. And he looked like, losing it. He barely had it to begin with. Second inning, third inning, same type of thing. Walking guys, putting guys on base, free passes, all that stuff. And the Phillies did not take advantage of it. They only took advantage of it to the point of squeezing out 2 runs, 1 in each inning, on double play balls. The worst of the runs scored. The worst way to bring in a run. But in the fourth inning, Phillies go down more. They get to the Marlins get to Tyler Phillips again. It goes from a 3-2 ball game to a 5-2 ball game when Phillips ran into some more trouble there in the fourth inning. And then in the bottom of the fourth, that's where everything changed. Bryson Stott led off with a single. Second time he was up. Second time in a row, he was able to lead off the inning by getting on base. First time was a walk. This time was a single. He was down in the count 0-2, and he was able to fight back to get that single. Then JT Realmuto stepped up, got a 5-pitch walk. It was the 6th 3-ball count. I mentioned Cabrera losing his arm slot. The 6th 3-ball count already in the game, and this is the 4th inning with nobody out. Sosa goes up there, grounds to the 6-4, put out, Stott's out at 6-5, put out, Stott's out at third. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Marsh strikes out on a changeup away. Rojas gets the infield single, and this is where the Phillies got a break. Rojas put that ball deep in the hole at short, between short and third. Edwards did a great job of corralling the baseball, saved a run, got to his feet, but struggled doing so he was unable to get the final out of the inning. So now you got the bases loaded. You got 2 outs. You have flipped the order. Kyle Schwarber steps to the plate. As I mentioned with Harper and I mentioned with Alec Bohm, they were rather aggressive in their at-bats in the previous inning. And that inning ended prematurely, in my opinion. So Schwarber goes up there, and I'm wondering, you're probably going to get a first pitch change up. That's how Cabrera approached him in the first inning. He's probably going to go to that same trick. He goes to the same trick, and he puts a change up. I described this on the postcast last night as it wasn't just a meatball. It wasn't just a spicy meatball. It was a big, fat, juicy meatball with the Parmigiano Reggiano already sprinkled on top. And Kyle Schwarber stood there and just watched it. And I thought that ball should be 452 feet into right field. See you later. But Schwarber wanted to take the patient approach. He takes the pitch. And I heard him say on the post game, I heard him say on NBC Sports Philly that, if he throws me another one of those, see you later. He threw him another one of those. 3 pitches later, there's a pitch a little bit more on the outer half of the plate. That's why Kyle Schwarber went with it. And he hits with the bases loaded, the grand slam home run, left field. Phillies go from down 3 runs to up 1 run, 6-5 ball game. And I know everyone jumps right to Kyle Schwarber saves the season with a grand slam. Schwarber saves the season, whatever. I did it with Brandon Marsh and the catch he had against the Marlins. I'm not doing it now with Kyle Schwarber. The Phillies are set up, like right now, to pause it right here. With the Phillies going on to win this game, we still got one more inning to talk about that I want to focus on, and I want to credit the bullpen for what they were able to do last night. But let's just pause right here. Kyle Schwarber doing that, putting the Phillies up 1 run, 6-5. After Tyler Phillips had a bad start, really bad start, again, Kyle Schwarber doing this now puts the Phillies in position to now go on the very least a very nice 3-game winning streak. Because let's face it, you're facing the Nationals, or a god-awful baseball team, And then you also have, after Phillips' bad start, you have Zach Wheeler going tonight, and then you have Aaron Nola going. Let's go for the Lou Brown 3 in a row. My Lou Brown is more like a Sam Elliott, the banquet beer. You know what I mean? But 3 in a row is very plausible. It should happen. There's no way it shouldn't happen. 3 wins in a row. You should sweep the Nationals, by golly. You should go out there, sweep the Nationals. But I'm just saying, winning a game that Phillips started and started badly. Wheeler, Nola, maybe the lineup actually hits consistently, and you should be here for a nice little run. So you're talking about saving the season? Yeah, let's save the season. Hey, look, the Phillies, they beat the Mariners in the Marsh game. They lost to the Dodgers, and then they won 2 against the Dodgers. And then they won 1 more. They had a 3-game winning streak against the Diamondbacks. Let's do that again. And then maybe 4 in a row, maybe 5 in a row. I said before this homestand, 5-1 is acceptable. Anything less than that is not acceptable against these crap teams, and you in desperate need of a get-right game and a get-right series and a get-right homestand. Here it is, right in front of you, begging to be taken. Take it. Schwarber, couldn't he have saved the season? I'm not going to go down that road today. I'm not doing it. I brought myself too much disappointment and false hope with Brandon Marsh's catch, and then they lost 3 or 4 to the Diamondbacks. I know the Diamondbacks are playing great baseball right now. I know the Diamondbacks are not a terrible team. But I'm not doing it. I'm not elevating it to the point of saving the season. You want to know if it's going to save the season? Keep doing it, Phillies. Keep doing it. We'll let you hear from Kyle Schwarber coming up in a second, but I do want to talk about that 7th inning where the Phillies got some 2-out lightning going. Schwarber, unfortunately, struck out in the 7th inning. That guy sucks. And then Castellanos ground. Oh, wait, hold on. No, I mentioned Castellanos. What the hell was he thinking? Kyle Schwarber hits the grand slam. All the juices are going. Everyone's having a great time. And then Nick Castellanos is like, wait a minute, I'm a speedster. I can stretch this definite, absolute, no doubt about it, only a single into a double. I am fleet of foot. I asked this question. Who's faster? I've asked this before. Nick Castellanos, Pat Burrell, Greg Luzinski. All right. You have to have these 3 guys. You have to bet on a winner to save the universe. Who are you betting on? Pat Burrell, Nick Castellanos, Greg Luzinski. Somebody threw me a curveball last night, and they said, how about this? Greg Luzinski, Nick Castellanos, Pete Incaviglia. And I was like, ooh, that's another almost literally spicy meatball with the Parmigiano. Anyway, yeah, that was interesting. Found that very fascinating. But who wins that race? So Nick Castellanos there, I digress. In the 4th inning, hits a ball to left field, towards the corner, but by no means in the corner. And he gets thrown out by a mile at second base. Wah, wah. Thanks, Nick. Anyway, let's move to the seventh inning again. Schwarber strikes out. Castellanos grounds out to third. Harper steps up, gets his second double of the ballgame. We'll talk about the entire lineup in a second, but he gets second double of the ballgame. Bowen brings him home in an RBI single. It's now a 7-5 game. Stott gets a double. A bouncer down the right field line. I had the same thought go through my brain that John Kruk said during the broadcast. Bowen needed one of those. There was like ground ball with eyes, that little bouncer that hit in the right space, hit them where they ain't type of thing. He puts it down the right field line. He busts it around first, goes to second, gets the double on the bouncer. You have second and third with 2 outs. JT Realmuto steps up. He gets a 2-run double. It's now a 9-5 ball game. Realmuto puts it down the right field line as well. And then Sosa ends it, grounding out to shortstop. All said and done, 9-5 game. Phillies end up winning it. The bullpen was fantastic throughout, going 4 2/3. Ruiz did great. Strahm was great. Hoffman was great. Carlos Estevez. Jose Alvarado. Yay! Jose Alvarado, a little scary. And then Jeff Hoffman, Carlos Estevez closed the door in the ninth inning. 4 2/3 scoreless innings from your bullpen. You love to see it. Now you need to see Zach Wheeler go out there and get like 7 or 8 innings under his belt tonight against the Nationals and handle his business. I'd like to see that happen. But the bullpen was fantastic. And the hitting, the lineup, the bats, 5 players in last night's game for your Philadelphia Phillies had multi-hit games. How about this? For Brandon Marsh, it's his first multi-hit game since August 3rd. For Bryson Stott, it was his first multi-hit game since July 31st. And for Bryce Harper, I went back and did a little digging for you guys. For Bryce Harper, last night was his first multi-extra base hit game since the 13th of July. He had a double and a home run against the Oakland A's in the 11-5 victory against the Oakland A's before the All-Star break. That was the beginning of the end. Just for reference, going into that game back on the 13th, he had back-to-back multi-extra base hit games in the Tigers series. So things were going pretty well for Bryce Harper until they weren't, and the rest of the Phillies baseball team. But last night, Marsh, Stott, Realmuto, Harper, Bohm, all coming up with multi-hit games for the Phillies. And that was certainly a sight for sore eyes. After the game, Kyle Schwarber was addressing the media, and he was asked about when he hit the grand slam and the Phillies went up 1 run. It wasn't like, it was a 0-0 ball game, and all of a sudden they had a 4-0 lead. They had a 1-run lead. So in that moment, the reporter asked Kyle Schwarber, is this the moment? Did you guys kind of have feel the pressure off your shoulders? Could you kind of exhale a little bit? And this is the way Kyle Schwarber talked about that grand slam.
I think it was just more energy, right? You could feel it in the stadium, and I felt like that was a cool thing, right? I feel like our guys are doing a really good job of, weathering, whatever's happened the last couple weeks, right? Where we haven't been playing our best baseball, and we have a really good group of guys in this clubhouse, which I feel like we got the right guys to get through this and come out better for it. And you get a little bit of energy tonight, and you see Phillips battled. Bullpen comes in and does a great job. Ruiz shuts down the inning, and we've got a bunch of zeros there, and able to get, like I said, get some key hits. So.
There we go. The energy changed. And you would think, of course, you just hit a grand slam. Of course, the energy is going to change, right? He referenced the building, the fans being into it, but talking about the dugout, my sense is, I don't know if he wanted to say it because then it acknowledges the pressure and maybe guys gripping the bat too tight. Hell yeah, it took pressure off these guys. I think between the little thing, the tiny thing of Johan Rojas being able to get on base with the ball just put in the right spot, Edwards not being able to grab his footing, and the bases all of a sudden being loaded, and then Kyle Schwarber steps up and hit that grand slam, I think there was a sense in that clubhouse, in that dugout, and certainly in the stadium, oh, wait, things can go our way. We're capable of taking advantage of little breaks we get in games. And this is the benefit of playing a bad baseball team, like the Miami Marlins are, like the Washington Nationals are. This is the benefit. They're going to give you opportunities where they're going to go like, here, take the game, please. In the second inning and the third inning, Cabrera losing his arm slot, having the 3-ball counts and all that stuff, 5 of them at that point. Hey, here, take the game. And in the third inning, the Phillies like, no, please. We want to be gracious hosts to our guests. No, please, you take the game. And then finally, Kyle Schwarber in that fourth inning. Bang, bang, boom. Grand slam home run. I absolutely think that took the pressure off. And I think that re-energized the team. Because one of the things we've been talking about here over the last week with this Phillies team is a lack of energy. And you look at them and you're like, do they even want to be in this game? Do they even want to be in playing baseball right now? Like, playing baseball is pretty awesome. You know what I mean? It's a fun sport. You should try. You should play. And the Phillies are doing this professionally, and they don't look like they want to be there. We talked about the last game against the Diamondbacks, the third game against the Diamondbacks. It was just like they want to be on the plane already. They don't want to be on the road anymore. First off, they don't want to be on the road. Second, they don't want to be playing because they have no idea how to get out of this. And some of the things that were talked about in that team meeting was kind of like, hey, relax for a second. One of the stories that, or one of the pieces in the story there by Scott Lauber talked about Bryce Harper. And Bryce Harper said, the way we've been playing obviously has been unacceptable. We just want to keep going. Everybody in here knows what to do and how to do their jobs. If you're not walking in here every day ready to do your job, you probably shouldn't be here. Hell yeah, Bryce Harper. That's what I want to see from a guy who's supposed to be a team leader. Every single time. I mean, face it, last night going out, or 2 nights ago, watching them go out 5-0. Again, Kyle Schwarber referred to that as a unicorn game. It felt like the new norm. Didn't feel like a unicorn game by any means. Unicorn game in terms of getting shut out at home, certainly. But that seemed like the Phillies team that I have been watching for a little while now. I'm not saying that this saves the season. I'm not going to take any overdramatic thing and ball it up and throw it at this loss or this win last night. But what I am going to do is say they're 1 in a row. The Phillies win streak is at 1 in a row. Put 4 more together before this 6-game road trip, before you face 2 much better teams than the Marlins and the Nationals. By the way, the Braves, they put the Giants over their knee last night. They won that game. And the Dodgers won again as well. So there you go. So I loved everything I saw from the Phillies from the 4th inning on. Even though the second and third inning they scored runs, I was like, that should have been a lot more. That would have been nice. Should have been a lot more. It wasn't. I thought the Phillies were going to be snake bit the rest of the game. They weren't, thanks to a grand slam. Zach Wheeler does get the start tonight, 6:40 start time. There will be most likely no postcast tonight after the Phillies and Nationals start their first game of their 4-game series in South Philly because the Eagles are playing and Eagles in football are king. And even though it's preseason, we're going to be doing a postcast on the Eagles. So those games are around the same time tonight, so within an hour. So I'm not going to be doing both. Not going to be doing both, unfortunately. I'll try my damnedest, but right now it's like 99%. I'll just be doing the Eagles tonight. But the Phillies get underway at 6:40 tonight. Zach Wheeler gets the start against Mitchell Parker. Left-handed pitcher. He's 6-6 on the season with a 3.83 ERA. Parker's coming off an interesting little run here. He allowed 8 hits, but no earned runs against the LA Angels in a 10-inning affair. He went 6 1/3, no earned runs, 2 runs scored, 8 hits. He did give up a home run, which is always funny. And also before that, 6 scoreless against the Brew Crew. Holy Straboli. He's allowed a total of 2 earned runs in his last 3 starts, and those 2 earned runs came against the Arizona Diamondbacks, because of course they did. As for Zach Wheeler, he's coming off a disappointing start against those Arizona Diamondbacks. That was the game that Johan Rojas tried to help you win, and you said, no, thank you. He went 6 innings, allowing 2 runs, both earned on 7 hits, 1 home run. He walked 2. He struck out 8. Previous to that, he went up against the Seattle Mariners. He gave you those 8 shutout innings, allowing just 2 hits to the Mariners and walking 1. So Zach Wheeler gets the ball tonight for the Phils. As for your Philadelphia Eagles, if I could fish a wish, I would see Jalen Hurts, Cam Jurgens, and Kellen Moore all doing their thing all at the same time during the game tonight for a series, maybe 2. I've said it throughout all the preseason. You have a new offensive coordinator. You have a new center. You have Jalen Hurts in the middle. Just get the 1 rep or 2 out of the way of hearing the play call, calling the play, shifting protection, if you will, with Cam Jurgens, and then hand the ball off. I don't even need Jalen Hurts to drop back and throw a pass. Just get that new thing out of the way. Just get it out of the way. That's it. I don't need to see a lot. I don't need to see Saquon Barkley in the game. Kenny Gainwell can play. Will Shipley, I'd love to see him play more. Can go out there, Will Shipley, do your thing. But that's all I need. I don't need a lot. I just feel like if I'm Jalen Hurts, and this is what Jalen Hurts was getting into earlier in the week, 2 days ago when he addressed the media after practice, he was asked, is this enough? Do you have enough to go on here? You've barely done anything. You've only practiced. Do you need a little bit more than this? And Jalen didn't say no. He said, well, you try to work hard every day and try to get as close to a game as possible. I'm like, hey, it's really close to a game. I'll tell you, it's really funny. It's really close to a game? A game? Huh? That's what's close to a game. As a matter of fact, they're the same. It is a game. So that works out rather well. So maybe you should do that. We're not going to see it. I'd be shocked if I was watching pregame or whatever, and all of a sudden the Eagles were, Jalen Hurts is taking to the field. Jalen Hurts is still in his pads and pregame warm-ups, and Jalen Hurts looks like he's going to play. And then Jeff McClain puts it out there, the starters are going to play the first series. I'd be very surprised if that actually happened. I also that's not happening. So I'd like to see it. I'm going to put my opinion out there. I'd like to see it. I'm not going to see it. What I am really curious about, though, going into this game tonight, and I got into this a little yesterday. I am like Nakobe Dean got first team reps, and I know they're going to mix and match and all that stuff, but Nakobe Dean got first team reps on Tuesday. I am very curious, and I had talked about how there had been a lot more talk about Nakobe Dean looking better and all that stuff. He didn't get reps until I think the second quarter of preseason game number 1. I am very curious now about this linebacker position group of your Philadelphia Eagles. Through one game, I saw more from Jeremiah Trotter Jr. than I expected. Through one game, I saw Devin White out there. I don't know if Devin White's going to play in this game. I don't know if you're still going to see the same defensive starters in this game as well. But if I don't, and I see more of Nakobe Dean and more of Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and more of even Zach Bond, I'm in for that. I want to see that. Like what I'm expecting to see tonight, like what I expect the Eagles to put out there, and the thing I'm most excited about watching tonight, it's the linebackers. And I'm not on, I want to say just real quick, I am not taking drugs. I'm not on any illegal substances or even legal substances. I'm not on any of that. But I know I just said that. I'm excited about seeing the linebackers. I don't remember the last time I said that. But here I am, the morning of an Eagles preseason game, and I am excited to see the Eagles linebacker position group. This feels weird. I feel gross just saying it because it's so unnatural. But here I am. I really look forward to seeing the Eagles linebacker group. Like last year, I just wanted to see Nakobe Dean. All right, let me look at Nakobe Dean and see what he's got going on there. Struggle. But this year, I'm like, let me see Hatchet Man. Let me see Nakobe Dean. Let me see more of Zach Bond. And yeah, if Devin White plays, which I doubt, let me see more of Devin White, because I think of all the guys, he's the one lock to be your starting linebacker. But that's the way I'm looking at it right now. I'm curious about Bryce Huff from an edge rusher standpoint. So yeah, I don't know how you guys feel, but watching Trotter, watching Dean, watching them be aggressive, watching Vic Fangio be aggressive with linebackers as well as corners as well, setting up those blitzes. Okay, I'd like to see that. Edge rusher from the edge rusher spot. Bryce Huff playing. I doubt he plays tonight, but if he does, that will tell you a lot about where Bryce Huff's at in terms of getting to that 70% of the snaps number. And then Nolan Smith really showed me something in game one. And I know everything that I saw that I liked was speed-based, and speed has never been a question. But one of the things I always ask of young players, whether you're an inexperienced second-year player or you're a rookie, I'm always asking you to look like you belong. Just go out there and look like you belong. That's it. Go out there and look like you belong. Don't be overmatched. Don't look shy of the moment. Don't look too little of the moment. Go out there and do your thing. Show me that you look like a pro and not a college freshman. You know what I mean? Go out there and do that. And Nolan Smith last week against the Ravens looked like that. I'd like to see that again. Cornerback-wise, you'll probably still see Quenyon Mitchell tonight, get some more reps a little bit. Cooper DeJean was only running individual drills, so you won't see him. But look forward to seeing the corners again, how they roll that out there. Keely Ringo playing or not playing tonight, I think could really show you something. From a safety position, Avonte Maddox, I'll be watching like a hawk tonight. James Bradbury potentially getting some more reps at that spot. Look forward to seeing that tonight. And defensively, that's really what I'm going to be focused on. Milton Williams will probably get reps. They asked Milton Williams earlier in the week, Moro Ojomo is the guy that he thinks will have a breakout season. Like a surprise guy that maybe people think of as under the radar right now. All right. See what Ojomo's got. So defensively speaking, that's what we'll be looking at. Yes. Just to say it again, just because I don't even believe I'm saying it. I'm really excited to watch the linebackers tonight. Oh, God. Oh, I just blacked out. Did I just say something? What? Anyway. Offensively speaking, it would be a fun twist if Tanner McKee started tonight. Like if Kenny Pickett still played, but Tanner McKee started. Now, if Tanner McKee starts and plays the whole game, then that's a wrap. I mean, that kind of means that they think of Kenny Pickett as the number 2 quarterback, but they just want to see as much as Tanner McKee as possible. But I look forward to watching both quarterbacks. Both will probably get a chance to play tonight, so I look forward to seeing both of them. And Will Shipley, I want to see Will Shipley, the sequel. And that great first quarter, helping the Eagles engineer a 15-play drive. Then later in the game, this offense was able to put together a 17-play drive. Will Shipley was a big part of that first one. 7 carries, 8 touches, caught the touchdown reception, obviously, in the end zone. And that play was executed to perfection. You're not doing anything fancy. We all know that by now, right? In the preseason, you're not putting anything great on tape that you can be using during the regular season. But if you're able to just execute your plays, and everything from a timing perspective looked great. It never really looked like Kenny Pickett was looking over at the sideline like, what the hell are you talking about? What do you call it? Like, there was no confusion. Everything was it was run pretty well. Occasional penalty, that's going to happen, unfortunately. But the way everything was run, it looked well-oiled. I'd like to see that again tonight. But just to keep with Shipley for now, I want to see more of what I saw in game one. And maybe even take that next step. Let's see him break a play. Let's see him not just get the one reception. Let's see if we can get involved in the passing game a little bit more. Maybe without A.J. Brown, maybe without Devontae Smith. Maybe you're going to get that opportunity a little more so in game number 2. Not that you saw them obviously playing in game number 1, but expand the game a little bit more. Take that next step. Let me see a little bit more of Will Shipley show off his skills. So I look forward to seeing that. Johnny Wilson's ability, not just to block, but to catch a little bit more downfield. I want to see how that comes together, certainly with that size and getting him involved in that with all 6'6" of them. Would love to see that happen. And then offensively, overall, what I really want to see from this Eagles team is continued fluidity, continued flow. With or without Jalen Hurts, with Tanner McKee and with Kenny Pickett, I would love to see another 15-play drive. I'd love to see another 17-play drive. I would love to see a lot of what I saw in game one, just with more consistency. Maybe you do score on an 8-play drive where you have one big 40-yard play. I'd love to see that happen. That's one thing I'm going to be really paying attention closely to tonight. And then as far as the last position battle I'll be looking at, it's pretty obvious. It's the right guard. Tyler Steen going to play. Mekhi Becton going to continue to get reps. Where are we at? Because Steen just looked like a guy who is still very much coming back from an ankle injury. Did not look like a guy who was ready to go out there and start ripping. I mean, he wasn't terrible by any means, but you could definitely tell, but between Mekhi Becton and Tyler Steen right now, if you're just judging from the Ravens game, who are you taking to be your starting right guard? I think you're taking Mekhi Becton. Seems to take into the position rather naturally. Whereas Tyler Steen looked every bit of a guy who is still learning the position and every bit of a guy who's learning the position and still coming back from an ankle injury. So that's the last thing I'm going to be looking at as far as position battles go, looking at this Philadelphia Eagles preseason game number 2. Going on tonight in New England. And how about that? The Patriots made a trade yesterday. Matt Judon went to the Falcons for a 3rd-round pick. The Eagles faced the Falcons in week 2. Cool, thanks. I mentioned similar start times tonight. That is true. Phillies get started at 6:40. The Eagles get started at 7 o'clock. That's the way that goes down tonight in New England. So there you go. Let me tell you about the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account, use promo code Farzi, and get get up to $1,000 redeemable cash bonus at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. So download the MyBookie app to your phone, create an account, use promo code Farzi, get up to $1,000 redeemable cash bonus at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Want to go to this Phillies homestand? You can just download the app. Game Time, the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account, use promo code Farzi, and get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. They have last-minute ticket deals, flash ticket deals. They even have ticket deals for an hour after the event starts. So make sure you take advantage of all they have to offer on the Game Time app. And how about the Game Time guarantee? If you find tickets in the same section, same row for less money elsewhere, the Game Time app will credit your account 110% of the difference. That's the Game Time guarantee on the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account, use promo code Farzi, get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. How about PHL Sports Nation, a Philadelphia sports nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsNation.com. And how about our friends at Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. Take advantage of all they have to offer with Brett's amazing inventory at SkyMotorcars.com. Let's get into the chat check and see how you wonderful people are doing on this fine morning. IBH, what's going on? Good morning, everyone. Are you ready for some football? I'm ready for some football. I'm ready to watch linebackers. April. Good morning, April. Happy to see them ring the bell, but I need more small ball from them. Oh, my God, April. Did you see Edmundo Sosa try to bunt? What part of the game was that? Was that the what part? Was that the third? No, boop. Is that the 3rd inning? It was the 2nd inning. Stott led off with a walk. Realmuto got the bloop single to center. 1st and 3rd, no outs. Edmundo Sosa steps up. I literally laughed out loud. Speaking of small ball. You have one out. No, you have no outs. Sorry. No outs. Sosa steps up. On the second pitch of the at-bat, shows bunt. And Tom McCarthy goes, interesting. If you could hit team broadcaster translate, it would be a WTF. That's what it would be. You know the scene in Rudy when the coach when they throw the touchdown pass to get Rudy in the game, to put the score out of hand and all that. And the coach goes, what the hell is he doing? You know that scene? I don't know why that lives rent-free in my head, but it does. What the hell is he doing? Like that scene? That's what I thought Tom McCarthy was really saying when he said, interesting. Why the hell is Edmundo Sosa bunting? Oh, yeah, let me get these runners in scoring position for offensive juggernaut Brandon Marsh and Johan Rojas at the time. Interesting. Now, he ended up grounding in the double play. They got a run home, but that's stupid baseball. They tried to play small ball in that instance, and I agree, they do need small ball. Because what, their last 2 victories have come with Kyle Schwarber just hitting bombs? That's pretty much the way it's happened, right? He gets the grand slam in this one. And then, I think that was the last one, the three homer game? Where are we at here? No, that was against the Dodgers. He hit the 3 home runs against the Dodgers. That's right. Okay. But yeah, good times. Sean Gillespie, what's going on? Jason A., we needed that win. Absolutely. Jason A. says, April, I definitely need to see some small ball. That's been our issue the past few years now. Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. But hey, look, it wasn't just like the grand slam was the only thing they did. Again, I mentioned the guys, 5 guys with multi-hit games. Schwarber was not one of them. And that was, I know it was a grand slam, but it was the only home run of the game for the Phillies, at least. And then the Phillies got runs on doubles, on ground outs, for crying out loud. If they would have gotten a big hit when Cabrera lost his arm slot in the 2nd or 3rd inning, that would have been nice too. Oh, Jason A's got Casty winning that. Okay, here's how you go. Pat Burrell's 2nd. Okay, Pat Burrell's 2nd. Hey, Sean Kilrain, happy birthday to your wife. Happy birthday. I'm going to assume Mrs. Kilrain. God loves Schwarby, says Daz. What's going on? Dean season. Going to prove a lot of people wrong. All right, there we go. Keep the choo-choo going there for Jacoby Dean. John Daggerty. What's up, John? Wide receiver 3, committee. It certainly seems like it. I mean, I did mention Johnny Wilson, so I'm very curious to see how that goes. Very curious to see how that goes. Daz McKee deserves to start. I'd like to see him with actual wide receivers. Huh. April wishing happy birthday to it. April Cook had one of those reactions a few weeks ago. I could not stop laughing. Just said, huh, after seeing something really dumb. Kruk is a damn national treasure. I mean, really, he's a national treasure. Farzi. Kruk agreed with you on interesting. He said he'd choose a different word. Yeah. I was laughing. I probably missed what Kruk said, but I was literally laughing out loud. Sean Kilray, Nancy. Nancy. Happy birthday, Nancy. With the laughing face. Anyway, yeah. Ooh, does Pickett get traded to the Vikings? Sean Kilray, love it. So JJ McCarthy has to have surgery. He's done, the rookie, right? Do you fleece? Now, you're not going to get a first-round pick like you did for Sam Bradford. But do you fleece do you get a free pick, essentially, from the Minnesota Vikings? Interesting. Huh. If Tanner McKee plays at a very high level tonight, do you then feel like he becomes your backup and Kenny Pickett gets traded? Love that. Absolutely love that. Yeah, who do they have now? Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Rhode Island is neither a road nor island. Discuss. What's your favorite Lizzo song? Okay. All right. The bing, bang, boom. Sam Darnold. Oh, that's right. They got Sam Darnold. J.J. McCarthy. Jaron Hall. Nick Mullins. What the pots and pans? All right. Kenny Pickett seems like the same as those other guys, so I don't know if they'd make that trade. But it is an interesting thing to think about. Darnold, Hall, McCarthy, Mullins are the quarterback room for dem guys over there. Minnesota. But I like the idea. April Vikings are a train wreck right now. Stratus, what's going on? They should get Carson Wentz from Kansas City. Yeah, go for it. NFL with Jonah Vick. What's going on? That sounds like a Russian name, but then Jonah Vick. Anyway, Jonah Vick. Do you think Philadelphia football team? Do you think the Philadelphia football team going to Super Bowl? I do think Philadelphia football team go to Super Bowl. They're pretty damn good. I think they're going to be great. I really think they're going to be great. So here's where I'm at with that. So I do think the Eagles are going to have a great season. I do think Kellen Moore is going to get hired somewhere else as a head coach. And then I think Nick Sirianni just copies and pastes everything Kellen Moore did and does it again. I think that's the way that goes. James Alexander, what's going on? Good morning. About time. We won. Hells yeah. Thanks everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. Let's get to the morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars. SkyMotorcars.com. Sorry, I just got an interesting email. Where's my thing with the notes on it and everything? I had it, and it's not there. That's not fun. There we go. Yeah, Nick Nurse, if you haven't seen this story, Nick Nurse went back to his Iowa school to put on a shooting clinic. And I believe he ended the shooting clinic with clap your hands, everybody. For Philadelphia, 76ers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Sixers. So he goes back to his Iowa school and he gives a basketball camp essentially. Love that. Absolutely love that. There's been some conversations starting out regarding the 76ers and Joel Embiid winning the gold medal and all that stuff, what it means. At the time, this was my take. Coming out of it, it's still my take. And he also got like one of the highest medals of honor you could get. I shouldn't say medals of honor, but one of the highest honors a civilian can get out of Cameroon after winning the gold medal. Cameroon was like, hey, you're still Cameroonian, so we just want to let you know we still love you, even though you played for USA. Anyway, there's been a lot of talk about what it means for Joel Embiid in his career. Well, here's what it means to me. For me, Joel Embiid won a championship. All right. Not the one that we care about the most in Philadelphia. We care about the Sixers winning a championship. Let's get that out of the way. But he felt like what it's like to win. Joel Embiid was just around the greatest basketball players in our country. That is a phenomenal experience for him. Know what it takes to win. He watched that team win. He helped that team win, obviously. And then above it all, he was healthy. Nothing devastating happened that's going to push back his start of the season and potentially another MVP run or anything like that. And I also know that for 3-4 weeks, at least hard practices, Joel Embiid was playing basketball. He was becoming a better basketball player. It wasn't just, hey, I wonder what JoJo's doing this offseason. No, he was out there trying to win a gold medal, and he did it with the greatest basketball players in the world, against the greatest basketball players in the world. So for me, I love it. Going into it, didn't like it. Now in retrospect that I can see Joel Embiid and he's fine, I love it even more. So that's my take on Joel Embiid, the Olympics, that being done. And then before we know it, the Sixers will be underway. They'll be in their own training camp. And we'll be talking more about the 10-9-8 76ers. Phillies are back at it tonight, 6:40 start time. Eagles at 7 o'clock, 6:40 start time. Wheeler goes, as I mentioned earlier, Wheeler gets the ball tonight for the Phillies. He'll go against Mitchell Parker, so the Phillies will be facing that lefty. Trey Turner, I didn't even mention this. Trey Turner did sit out last night. He got the night off courtesy of his manager, Rob Thompson. They tried this a little bit last year, even before the standing ovation for Trey Turner. Didn't really work. Hopefully it works this time. It would sure be nice to have a guy batting .340 in the lineup again, like Trey Turner was through most of the season up until the last couple of weeks, where his average has plummeted. So let's see that get back into the swing of things, literally. So they get underway at 7:40 tonight, and look forward to the Eagles as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is The Farzi Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to The Farzi Show YouTube channel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to Jake and Media YouTube channel. And make sure you like and subscribe to the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel as well, where yours truly provides you with your Phillies postcasts, your Eagles postcasts, Sixers postcasts as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. I'll be back with you guys tonight on Locked On Sports Philadelphia for your Eagles postcast, and then back with you guys tomorrow for the Farzi Show, as well as Locked On Sports Philadelphia postcast of your Philadelphia Phillies. Thanks, everyone. See you guys tonight on Locked On Sports Philadelphia.